And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of New Distributor Training it's the last Saturday of 2018. I am excited about being able to host this training. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija International, and this is part of our ongoing process to support all of you in the field to help you achieve, whatever your goals and aspirations and desires are for your Zija business. And first, I want to extend a little apology for those of you that are on my mailing list or connected with me on Facebook. You got a posting this morning about this training. And I'll admit, the posting was actually submitted last night. Well, it wasn't submitted last night. It was prepared last night before I went to bed. And I may have been a little bit misleading, saying this was going to be my last training. I even got a message from David Moses checking in to see if everything was okay. I am 110% committed to what we're doing here with Zija, more so than I've ever been in the last 10 plus years. So no fears, I'm not going anywhere. Yes, this was a very interesting week, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of information with you. I've got a whole page of notes. I encourage you, grab your journal, because we're going to hit this thing hard real quick. Grab your journal or your notebook, whatever it is that you're using to develop an archive of the information and the training that you're going to be getting during your journey here with Zija. I want to extend a very warm welcome to those of you that are brand new distributors. Perhaps this is your first opportunity to attend a new distributor training. So certainly welcome to each and every one of you and our established distributors. I'm looking through the list here. We got quite a few people here today. That's really good for you guys. Now, first things first, because today is really kind of a summation of this past week, and I've got a lot of things I want to share with you, because this last week was instrumental in framing up today's conversation, and certainly to prepare for 2019. A lot of what I'm going to share with you may not be necessarily oriented towards the brand new distributor. So I want to give you a couple of things. If you're just started with, maybe you just signed up this past week, I want to give you something that you're going to really want to embrace immediately at the very beginning of launching your Zija business, and that is to be grounded in the fundamentals of what we do in our profession in network marketing. So I encourage you, look in the chat box. I'm going to go ahead and put in a website address for you here. I encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. Okay, that's the link. Now, that is where we archive all of our Thursday night business presentations. By the way, if you have not yet watched or reviewed this past Thursday night's presentation, Candace Smiley did an excellent presentation on why Zija, why now. Her guest was Phil Jacobson, one of our top distributors, income earners, and leaders. That was an excellent presentation, and you should certainly review that. Okay, that's on that website. I encourage all of you who are brand new distributors, and those of you that are maybe gearing up for 2019, to go to the playlist that you'll find. There's a tab on that YouTube channel that says playlist. Go to the playlist. Look at the 4 little training videos there. The first one is called New Distributor Training. It's 30 minutes long. It is the foundation of what I've used over the last 30 plus years to I mean, I'm not bragging because I can't brag. I'm not particularly special, but in my first 10 years in network marketing, I was able to retire, and it was based upon that 30-minute training. I retired in my mid 40s based upon that training. A number of years later, I came out of retirement to be part of Zija International. And while I certainly didn't build my Zija business like I did the first time around, it's been very part-time. The vast majority of what I've done to build my Zija business has been done from home. For those of you that may not know my story, nickel version, I care for my elderly mother. She's now 92 years old. We're struggling with dementia issues, and being able to be at home with her and make sure that she can have the happiest life possible in her final years, that's a dream come true to me. The Zija business has been the opportunity to create an extraordinary level of residual income to be able to facilitate that goal in my life. And again, everything I've done with Zija has been based upon that 30-minute training. So hopefully I'm giving you a desire to spend 30 minutes and look at that training. Now, there's 3 other little short videos, about 10 minutes apiece, that are part of that playlist. So 3 more little 10-minute videos. Those 3 videos, combined would be considered the fast start training, how to get off to a fast start. So topics like how to create a prospect list, how to develop your Zija story, 90-day game plan. Spend some time. It's not like you're going to have to take, years and years and years. Take 60 minutes and review that, especially if you're a brand new distributor, or especially if you are serious about making 2019 a breakthrough year in your Zija business. Now, with that said, I want to address all of you. And this applies to whether, some of the things I'm going to share with you this morning are going to apply to you, whether you're a brand new distributor, maybe you've been with us for a while, maybe you've been very successful and you're looking to take it to the next level. And there is no better time than today to be focused on that because of what's about to happen with Zija. And so I want to share a few things with you, and then I'm gonna try and get through that process as quickly as possible. And then I want to be able to open up for any questions that you might have. Certainly if I can't help with the answer to the question, I see a number of our leaders here. I'll call upon them to assist me with that as well. But the first concept, and I want you to recognize, an awful lot has happened this past week. An awful lot between that time that normally is reserved for family time, relaxation time, vacation time, whatever, that week between Christmas and New Year's. So much has happened that has brought such clarity and focus to me personally on what we need to be doing today to take advantage of what's about to happen with Zija International. And so the first thing I want you to write in your notes is a little saying. I've actually seen this presented in many different formats. It was always part of the beginnings, the origins of my process in network marketing. And just so you understand, especially for those of you that I don't know, I didn't come to Zija International without experience. I had already created a retirement income from a previous network marketing company, but I didn't come to the profession of network marketing with any skills or experiences or background that would lead you to think I would be successful. I was a cross-country truck driver. That was my profession prior to network marketing. The things that allowed me to be successful in this profession were not the things that most people think are required. It wasn't because I had, a tremendous business background. It wasn't because I had, an incredible contact list. It wasn't because I had tremendous credibility or or knowledge in the industry. I didn't have any of those things. I had the three things that are the only requirements for success in our profession. Number one, write this in your notes. Number one, I had very good work ethics. Okay, I've always been a hard worker. I was raised by a single mom. I knew nothing other than hard work. My mom raising us, and this, back in the 50s and 60s, when that was pretty rare, okay, to have a single mom raising, two children on her own. My mom, as long as I can remember, she had, her full-time job and a part-time job and a part-time job. Okay, that was what was required to raise her children without any support, no child support, family support. She was 100% on her own. So that was the example I was raised with. I knew nothing other than good work ethics. Now, those things serve me well in my previous careers. I mean, I've done many things prior to network marketing besides driving trucks, but that's, frankly, driving trucks is the thing I did the longest before network marketing. And, and I did well there. I thrived there. I loved that. I loved being able to do that, and I made a good living, what I thought was a good living at the time. The concept of good work ethics, be willing to work, is a primary requirement for anything. Number two, when I joined network marketing, I was highly coachable, willing to learn. Number two, willing to learn. And what did help there, I did have a little advantage, is I knew nothing about business, knew nothing about sales, knew nothing about network marketing, knew nothing about this profession. And since I didn't know anything, that was a big advantage to me because I was highly coachable. For those of you that come from a business background, marketing background, sales background, you may want to take a clue there that while you may have been successful in your career as a salesperson, marketing person, whatever, be very clear that network marketing is incredibly unique. Okay, it is incredibly unique. People with high-level success in sales, marketing, business tend not to do very well in our type of business if they don't get real coachable real quick, because it isn't like those other professions. Finally, number three, I had a burning desire to succeed. White hot burning desire to succeed. And again, for those of you that maybe haven't heard my story, seen the Zija Diamond video, my motivation to get involved in network marketing was not because I didn't like driving trucks. I loved driving trucks. I really couldn't see myself doing anything else. Frankly, I really wasn't suited for anything else. I tried working for the county for a couple of years, and actually a couple different times. I didn't do very well there. I was the proverbial square peg in the round hole. I just did not, I couldn't figure out, the county at all. They wanted me to show up for work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking, why? I don't even get a good head of steam up until about 10 or 11. And then they wanted me to quit working at 5. And I'm thinking, why would you do that? I'm just on a roll now. I'm good till 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Let's do the deal. I couldn't figure them out, and frankly, they couldn't figure me out either. But I had that third ingredient of success, that burning desire to succeed. My older son was hitting school age, had a lot of educational challenges, and frankly, the school district, they didn't see what I saw in my son. They did not believe he was going to make it. They were not going to provide the specialized educational resources that were going to be essential for him to be successful. And I took it upon myself to fulfill on my promise, the promise that every parent gives their children, which is to provide a way for them to become everything that they can become. Not what we want them to become, but what they can become. And so those three primary attributes that are a requirement for success in the profession in network marketing. And again, and make sure they're in your notes. Willing to work, willing to learn, and desire to succeed, burning desire to succeed. Because see, if that's all you bring to the table, you have the ability to be a top performer, top income earner, top leader within our profession. All the other things that you might think are requirements for success really don't make any difference. Okay. And if you I'm not saying everybody was like me, but if you look at our top income earners, there's a lot of people that, David Moses, you talk to David, he'll tell you that he did not bring a lot to the table. Okay. He had to learn these things. I didn't have a lot of resources when I came to the table of network marketing, other than those three ingredients. And here's, are there advantages to people that have great contact lists, have already been successful, have great credibility or whatever? Sure, those are advantages. But there are more people out there that all they brought to the table in their network marketing career was willing to work, willing to learn, burning desire to succeed. There's a whole lot more of us than people that came to network marketing, became top earners, top leaders, but they came with all these tremendous resources before they got here. Okay, we have a lot of top leaders that have been very successful in other professions prior to network marketing. But here's the good news for those of you that maybe don't feel like you've got some of the things that are necessary for success. There's a whole lot more of us who didn't have it. But what we did have is something that everybody can have: willing to work, willing to learn, burning desire to succeed. And if I were to suggest one thing for a brand new distributor today, evaluate yourself on those 3 points. Decide how you measure up. And if you are not measuring up in one or more of those categories, start your focus there. Okay. And this kind of leads me to the first thing I want to talk about this morning, and you want to write this in your notes. Everything worthwhile requires time and discipline. Everything worthwhile. And point out something to me that you have developed in your life that is really worthwhile. And I'm not talking about, your car or your house or your watch, or no, the things that are really worthwhile in your life. Every single one of those things has required time and discipline. And again, I'm sharing with you things that everybody's of the world can do. Okay, time and discipline. Now, one of the things that kind of framed up this week for me was this concept of being willing to take the time it takes to develop. Whether it's developing, your recruiting skills, your speaking skills, recruiting, developing your, if you're in the gym, your physical skills, what have you, your weight loss goals, what have you. Everything worthwhile is going to take some time. I mean, you have to give yourself permission to grow into what it is you want to become. It's also going to take discipline. Discipline, and a lot of people get real, uptight with that concept that, oh, I'm not disciplined, blah, 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 blah. I didn't say you were. I said it's what is going to be required. And the greatest thing about, our species, human beings, is that we thrive on change. Change is a constant. That's always going to happen. Things are always going to be different. And we thrive on that, because without change, there is no growth. Now, this past week, if you'll think back, this is Saturday. On Monday, that was Christmas Eve. Okay, then we had Christmas Day on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it was the day after Christmas, and then yesterday was Friday, the day before the long New Year's weekend, and everybody's thinking about their parties and what have you. And those days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they also happen to be my gym days. Okay, now, each one of those days, and this was roughly in the afternoon, somewhere. Monday I was out a little bit early, had to adjust my schedule because of my, support here at home, was going to leave partway through the day. Was in gym a little bit early. Wednesday, pretty much the normal time. Friday, pretty much the normal time. When I showed up at the gym, each one of those days, on Monday, Christmas Eve, Wednesday, the day after Christmas, and Friday, the day of the big, long, holiday weekend, every single day, the gym was empty and closed. Okay? Those are my gym days. I have focused on consistency of activity and persistency of activity, and the gym was empty and closed. Now, I do have a little bit of an advantage over the average person. I have a private gym, and I got the key. And so even if the gym's closed, I just, shout out to Charlie Miller for this saying. It's a saying I've used more often than you might imagine. When in doubt, show up and act like you own the place, right? And so that's what I do. I show up every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I act like I own the place, right? I went into the gym and I just pretended like it was a regular day. I fired up the music, and yes, these days I'm kind of on a little bit of a hip hop, deal, and so yeah, I was hammering the hip hop, got my gym thing going, did my normal workout, but it was really interesting to me that there's never anybody in my gym except for my trainer and one other person, unless I'm by myself, because it's a private gym. That's the only way you can get in there, is if you buy time with the trainer, except for me. I just come and go as I please. Now, Wednesday, the day after Christmas, figure, okay, well, it was Christmas Eve, people taking some time off. No, Wednesday, same thing. It was boarded up, locked up, cold, dark. And I went and worked out. Now, I figure certainly by Friday, people are back into the swing of things. It was empty again. But it made absolutely no difference to me, because I have set a goal to do something worthwhile for me. Okay, and this has everything to do with, long-term goals around, health, wellness, physical appearance and what have you. But in your notes, everything worthwhile requires time and discipline. The discipline part is what's called the doing part. Now, here's what happens, okay? Every single person that could have been in the gym that wasn't in the gym, let me tell you why, okay? They were too busy. They were too tired. They were too sick. Or, fill in your excuse, okay? Every single one of those applies to me. I was busy. I was tired. Now, I don't get sick because I do Zija. Okay, so I guess you can call that an advantage, right? But everything, family in town, preparing for the holidays, last minute Christmas shopping, whatever, the gym's too far, it wasn't convenient, whatever the reasons were that people didn't make it in, were the same reasons that I had. Now, I'm not trying to hold myself up to be somebody special. I'm just simply sharing with you that whatever the reasons, okay, excuses are for your failure to commit to the discipline necessary to achieve the goals, there's somebody out there who chose not to make that an issue. Now, let's change a little bit of the focus here. Showing up for your job, because everybody's got a job, okay, or everybody's got a business, but most people have a job. If you don't show up for your job, your boss stops paying you. So, does the boss care if you're tired? No, it cares if you show up for work. They care if you're sick. Well, some of you might have those good jobs that you get, sick leave for. But if you don't have that good job, you have a job that just pays you if you show up, and if you don't show up, you don't get paid. Guess what? Doesn't matter. They don't say, oh, well, you were sick. How about if we just pay you anyway? Or if you run a business, oh, you were sick. Well, how about if the customers just come in anyway and they leave the money on the counter when you're not there? Okay? All those things, would you let, if your job depended on it, having family in town, you know what you do? You tell the family, I'll be back when I'm done with work. Whatever the situation is, if you change that from a goal that you've set for yourself personally to something that is a requirement, like your job. How about your children? Okay. Oh, I was too tired to make dinner, right? Tell your 3-year-old you're too tired to make dinner. What are you going to do? Guess what? You got to go make dinner anyway. Discipline is one of those things that people sometimes get very scared of because they feel like they don't have it. And the fact of the matter is, everybody has discipline in the areas of their life that it is required. It is your choice. You get to choose what is important to you. Okay, that's the part most people don't get. Now, here's some other things that people avoid, fulfilling on the discipline. I don't have the skills. I don't have enough credibility. I don't have enough support. Folks, for every single person, for each one of you that has used one of those reasons, excuses, for not applying the discipline that's necessary to achieve something worthwhile, I guarantee you there are dozens, if not hundreds, of other Zija distributors moving forward who did not have what they believe were sufficient skills or sufficient credibility or sufficient contacts or sufficient support at home or what have you. Okay? Again, it is 100% a choice. And I want you to write this in your notes because it is something that was shared with me many years ago. And I've been in a constant state of attempting to perfect this. Okay? Here's the statement I want you to put in your notes. How you do a thing is how you do everything. How you do a thing is how you do everything. And if you think about that for a moment, when you identify the high level or worthwhile goals in your life, it'll cause you to create those areas of discipline. And if you're finding challenges in certain areas of your life, I'm going to tell you right now, there are probably challenges in many areas of your life. Now, I'm not going to say I'm 100% in every area, but the commitment to the gym, okay? I've been going regularly to the gym for many years. I mean, probably within the first year of Zija, I started at this private gym and I've invested in it. And now that's why I got the key and I get to go whenever I want. Originally, it was simply just to, maintain my health, to maintain energy, vitality. In this last year, it's really been a focus on development of my body. And part of that is because there's not a whole lot I get to do in life these days. But it's something that has allowed me to create intense discipline and focus, because I understand that concept how you do a thing is how you do everything. And so much of what I've accomplished this past 12 months in the gym, well, I see it from a physical perspective. It has actually been to develop those muscles of consistency and intensity in preparation for Zija 2.0 2019, to have that laser focus, white hot focus on correct activities to accomplish the goals that I've set. Now, moving on. One of the most important things, and this I'm speaking from personal experience, one of the most important things each one of you can do today to take advantage, to put yourself in a position to take advantage of what's going to happen with Zija International over the next 12, 24, 36 months, is to not focus on what you can't do, but rather embrace it. Whatever challenges you. For some people, might be, I don't do well in social settings, or I'm not a real extrovert, or I'm a little uncomfortable doing this, or, I don't fit in well there, whatever. Whatever the challenge is, whatever scares you, whatever you feel is your weakest areas, embrace that and go towards that. So often it's in the nature of us as human beings to shy away from things that scare us, things that we don't feel we're good at, things that challenge us, okay? It's in our nature to want to have a comfort zone, to revert back to, or to retreat to something we're comfortable with. For a lot of people, that's why they stay in the same job or the same type of job that they've done forever, because they're comfortable there. They know it. They have a certain level of success in it. Even if they don't like it, that's where they seem to think they fit. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, something beyond the norm, you are going to have to embrace the areas that you feel the least competent, confident, what have you. Race towards that. I'm going to use a personal example. And a lot of people aren't going to really be able to get this, or they're not going to, for many of you that know me, me from the Zija community. What you may not realize is that I don't particularly do well in large crowds, and that's just being very kind. I mean, I don't do well in large crowds at all. I do not do well in public speaking. I tend to be, I'm a real introvert. Okay, I'm the guy that nobody would notice in a room of people. Had an interesting comment. Had my I think it's 45th or 106th high school reunion here year and a half ago, and one of the gals from my freshman class made the comment that I had done really well and surprising, because she remembered me as that shy kid that sat in front of her in geometry class, or geography, or one of the G's, right? And I thought, isn't that interesting? Because the people that really know me know that I don't do well in those environments, and yet I was crystal clear about that limitation. When I was first involved in network marketing, it was a little office for a group of distributors here in the local area, and I was got engaged and involved in that. And one evening, we were having a little team meeting, and the leader of the office said, "We want to start including some of our new distributors in the presentations." Now, understand, prior to that time, I was very clear on this. I mean, I figured this deal out, and I'm not saying I was some dumb truck driver. I'm a smart guy. I figured the deal out. The people at the front of the room holding the marker, They were the ones making the most money. That's why they were at the front of the room. And in my mind, I made that decision, that commitment, because I was going to, one way or the other, figure this deal out and become a top producer. Why? Because of my burning white desire to provide for my son. Now, I had made the decision that if I ever had an opportunity to get to the front of the room, I'd jump on it. Why? Because the people at the front of the room are the ones making the most money. That was my perception. And so I'm hearing this conversation. We're looking for volunteers to start doing, some of the presentations. And the instant they called for that, I shot my arm up in the air, volunteering to be one of the new presenters. And while it was almost like a reflex reaction, like, you touch something hot, your hand goes back. They said, we're looking for volunteers to speak. My hand went up. And the instant went up, I got nauseous or nauseated. I'm not sure how the correct way to use that word. But I mean, I literally thought I was going to get sick right there on the spot because I had committed to doing something that was diametrically opposed to what was normal for me. Okay. Now, today, while I do public speaking, I think the largest crowd I've spoke to was 5,000 people. That I was, the keynote speaker. I'm not telling you that it's easy. I'm telling you I can do it. I'm telling you it's probably still just as hard as it's always been. But I can do it. Why can I do it? Because I ran in the direction of what challenged me the most. And I encourage you to do that yourself. Move towards the things that are the most challenging to you. And I'm going to wrap this up with this last comment, or this last topic. Write this in your notes. You must own your life. You must take responsibility for everything that's happening. I've had a number of conversations, and it's all around the topics a lot of people experience, but number of conversations this week that have kept highlighting this concept. You have to own it. I've not had the success I've been looking for because I don't have the skill sets. I don't have the contacts. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. I don't have support from the family. I'm too busy, this, that, and the other thing. All I can tell you, I mean, I get it. All right. Circumstances, where you live, your living environment, finances, whatever. All right. Support from family members, whatever the issue is. I get it. Okay. It is a challenge. And what I'm sharing with you is you have to own that. You have to accept responsibility for that. Here's a good one. I don't feel like I can approach people on the Zija, weight management system because I still have so much weight to lose. Own that. Okay. Why is that? That's your responsibility. All right. Why are the circumstances you have right now that are holding you back? Why do they exist? You're responsible for it. Okay. Oh no, you don't understand, Fred. If it wasn't for the economy, if it wasn't for getting laid off, I'm sorry. You can use any excuse you want. Your finances are your responsibility. You are responsible for your circumstances. Just like, God didn't raise you to be fat. God didn't raise you, create you to be poor. God, all of the things that we experience in life, our circumstances, our family situation, all that sort of, we own responsibility for that. Whatever obstacles or challenges you have are your doing. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback from that, but I'm telling you, that's what the philosophy, the mindset you need to have for one very simple reason. The moment you abdicate your responsibility for your circumstances, the moment you give that power to somebody else, my husband, the food, the economy, you know, my physical health, whatever, the minute you give that responsibility to something or somebody else, you have lost the ability to control your future. But if you own those things, then you have the capacity to change them. And again, I'm going to get a lot of pushback from that. But folks, you're the only person that has the capacity to change whatever it is about your life that you're not happy with. Okay? Now, I've heard from a number of people this week. I've had this conversation with a number of people this week. Whatever it is that you think is your challenge or insurmountable obstacle, you are responsible for your circumstances today. Now, let me put a little clarification, a little, finer point on that. Everything is going to happen. I'm thinking about one of our iconic Zija leaders this week. Her mother passed away. Okay. Now, she wasn't responsible for that. That's a circumstance that was not of her doing. It is going to create an environment where she can't engage in her daily method of operation for her Zija business. She is going to have to take time away. It is going to be a struggle. Folks, of course it is. But here's the part that you do own. Life is inevitable. Things are always going to happen. Okay? Dying is as logical and predictable an outcome as living. Okay? It's a guarantee. The sun will continue to rise in the east. It'll continue to set in the west. That's the way God wants it. That's the way it's set up. Things are going to happen. Okay? Here's what you are responsible for. Will you be prepared? What are you doing today to be in a position where when the inevitable happens, that you are prepared? Because you have to own everything if you're ever going to be able to control your life. And we can't control, the passing of loved ones. We can't control the economy. We can't control the weather. But you can control how you deal with it. And on a lighter note, I'll give you a little example. It's been freezing cold here in California. I can't control the weather, but I have the financial resources to go to the islands for a couple of weeks where it's a lot warmer. So, point made, right? Finally, and this is really important. Some of you have been waiting for, something to make the difference in your business. I'm telling you right now, okay, there is no new product from Zija that's going to give you the breakthrough in your business. There's no new, refinement to the compensation plan that's going to give you the breakthrough for your Zija business. There's no new recruiting technique, no new funnel system, no new social media marketing thing. You can like and sign up for every single one of the multi-level, self-professed gurus that have found a way to recruit 937 people every 15 seconds with their funnel system. Okay, there is nothing out there that is going to give you your breakthrough in Zija until you have taken control of your business. understand that everything worthwhile is going to take time, and it's going to take discipline. Understand that all of the reasons you have for not doing what we need to do, you're too busy, too tired, too sick, you don't have the credibility, the skill sets, the experience, the contacts. Everybody has that problem. I did. Okay. All the things that you avoid because they scare you, they're difficult, the challenges, those are probably the things that you should be heading towards. And the key to true greatness is to own and accept responsibility for everything, because it's only under your control are the things that can be changed. The minute you let somebody else be the reason why you can't do something. My husband doesn't support me. My kids don't understand. My friends, my family, the environment where I live. The minute you let somebody or something be responsible for a perceived lack of success or ability or capacity to do this, it's the moment that you have given up your ability to change it. And so, obviously, little bit different message today for new distributor training, but that's because it's my last training, not forever, for 2018. It's the last training of the year. And I'm assuming, because this is just how I live my life, I'm assuming that at least one of you needed to hear this. One of you who has incredible potential and will have incredible success in 2019. At least one of you needed to hear that. Now, in conclusion, and I'll open up for questions here. I see there's a number of chats I need to take a look at here. One of the reasons that I have been in preparation this past year in particular for the launch of 2019 is because I know what's about to happen. I'm not a mind reader. I don't have a crystal ball. I've just been around so long and in so many different environments within the network marketing profession. I know what's going to happen with Zija. Okay, this is going to be the most incredible time to be part of this company because of what is about to happen. We are creating what will be one of the most famous, most talked about, most influential companies in the network marketing profession that has ever existed. There is no question in my mind about it. If there was any question in my mind about it, I never would have joined 10 years ago. Everything that's happened in the past 10 years has been in preparation for what is about to happen with Zija. And while my circumstances are certainly not the greatest circumstances, all the things that would challenge most people, I live with on a daily basis. I am, for one, not about to miss this. I am going to go to, a lot of people say, well, you're already at the top. No. This is a journey. Okay, this is a place on the on the route to where I intend to be with Zija International. And I want you to do something I did a long time ago. I focused on the leaders. What are the leaders doing? Because whatever it is they're doing, I want to do it. I want to have what they got. I want to do what they do. I am prepared to go the distance with Zija International. We are going to have a full complement of resources available to you. Some of you may have heard we're coming out with an incredible new product that will be introduced at the beginning of the year. Frankly, I know nothing about it. Okay, and Just like I knew nothing about essential oils when we brought those out. And I really knew nothing about, sports nutrition when we brought that out, and skincare when we brought that out, and all this other stuff. I knew nothing about that. I did know about nutrition, plant-based nutrition, when I joined Zija. I understood the concept behind moringa. But all the other things, I didn't understand any of that stuff. I knew nothing about that, and I wasn't worried about it because we built a business on one product. Imagine what we can do with all the new products. There are lots of things that are going to be happening. You need to be plugged in. I encourage you, and there's many of you that are part of this broadcast that are part of other organizations. I encourage you to plug into your Upline Diamonds. I welcome you to participate in any of the resources that any of myself and our team members provide for you, because that's one thing that we all understand. One person's success in Zija creates success in everybody. And so you're welcome to participate. If you're not part of if you're not on my email list, go to my website, fredholmes.com, click on contact, scroll to the bottom page, you'll see a place where you can sign up for the newsletter. Plug in to me on Facebook. Friend me at, Fred W. Holmes, like my business page, Fred Holmes, Zija Business. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. For those of you that are asking about my Instagram, I got one. I have no idea where it is. I have no idea how to get to it. So if you message me on Instagram, I'm going to ignore you because I don't know anything about that. All right, I think I'm done here. Was there anything else I wanted to share with you? I'm actually pretty impressed that not only did y'all stay with me, a lot more of you came on, and so I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe the word Fred's going off. Come listen to him. He's about ready to go crazy. But I hope this was worthwhile to you. Okay, it was something that was on my heart. I think it's a great way to kind of wrap up 2018. Get serious, folks. Something is about to happen and you don't want to miss it. Okay, I was very fortunate to be part of a company in the mid 80s and 90s that had a little mini run. We took it from, $1 million a month in business to $1 million a day in 3 years, and I made a fortune. I was very fortunate to be part of the first little mini wave with Zija when we went from, a $10 million a year company to a $50 million a year company. And I made a lot of money. But that's nothing compared to what you have ahead of you. And every single one of you has the capacity to be a top income earner and a leader. And how can I say that? Because every single one of you that's here has already demonstrated the first thing you need to have, and that's the vision, okay? And that's all you need to get started. All right, so let me see if we got any questions. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I promised that I'd keep this short. Let's see here. Last training, thank you, Fred, for, well, thank you, Amy. Sunny Beach in Mexico. Oh, Lorene Best is in a sunny beach in Mexico. Of course, you're piquing people's interest there. Good worth and coachable. Thank you. You guys really need to see Lorene Best's comments. She does a great job of captioning my stuff here. The hardest challenge, procrastination is a step to finally see. Oh, there you go. Danielle DeBoard. The board has got a great comment. If you find procrastination is a challenge to you, I want you to think about this in the concept of one of the comments I made. How you do a thing is how you do everything. Okay. And there's different areas of our life. There's certain aspects of my life that I'm too embarrassed to tell you about, how I do everything, how I do that thing. You have no idea the piles of paper on my office. You can only see the stuff up here. Okay. But in the important things, health, family, finances, those things I am driven in. Fred, I disagree. I think the new product will be the great breakthrough in my business. Okay, Kevin. Kevin doing the deal steal. Hey, I really know nothing. Actually, for those of you that haven't heard, you go to Facebook and check out, talk with your upline. We have a new CBD, cannabis something or other oil product coming up. I really know nothing about it. What little I know about that explains why I took 5 years to complete a 4-year college degree. I specialized in FAC, Friday Afternoon Club. We'll just leave that one alone. Let's see here. I'm looking for questions. I appreciate all the positive comments. Okay, the New Year, New You events. Get registered. Go to them. Oh, and I had things I was supposed to tell you. The price for the regional events coming up in March goes up. Register for them today. You've got today and tomorrow, I think, to register. I will be at both regional events and looking forward to meeting all of the people that are part of the Zija community and certainly my team. Mike, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that comment. By making those positive comments, that you're raising your hand saying Fred was talking to me. Well, thank you, Mary. Chris and Becca Preston, this is your year. You guys are diamonds. I guarantee it. And I think that's it. So, bada bing, bada boom. We're right at the top of the hour. Folks, I wish y'all an incredible 2019. Have a wonderful New Year's celebration. Make it safe and sane. Make sure that after New Year's Eve, you're here on New Year's Day. Okay, that's incredibly important to me. My prayers go out to all of you who've had struggles, especially this time of year. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and just put a wrap on it. Thanks for joining us, and let's take it to the top in 2019. All right, be there. I'll be there. Y'all be there. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.